Let's talk about the Florida Gators and the Tennessee Volunteers. Interesting game. Was going to make a video last week when the Gators beat UCF. But it was an interesting time. I kind of just was feeling like the Gators are drawing a lot of attention from me emotionally, and sometimes I feel like I need to pull back. I get riled up. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I probably need to find a place to really get this energy off. Like, you know, I'm liable to lean into coaching at some point here. But this game, I want to say I have a lot of thoughts about this game. Quick rundown. Gators end the game with 361 total yards of offense. Tennessee, 312. 223 passing yards by the Gators. Tennessee with 169. All right, the Gators had 138 yards on the ground. Tennessee 143. The Gators averaged 5 yards per play. Tennessee averaged 4.5. The Gators had 22 first downs. Tennessee had 18. The Gators were 5 of 15 on third down. Tennessee was 4 of 15. The Gators had 72 total plays. Tennessee had 69. I'm just doing this to show that the Gators beat Tennessee in every aspect of this game and still lost. Let me just finish. The Gators only punted 5 times. Tennessee punted 7. The Gators had 6 penalties for 36 yards. Tennessee had 6 penalties for 47 yards. Both teams lost a fumble. Both teams threw an interception. The Gators won the time of possession battle, 35 minutes to Tennessee's 25. And the Gators lost this game 23-17. I almost feel like I can't sit down. Okay, this is odd. This is odd. All right. In an odd way, I feel like this is the best game of Billy Napier's career. At least this is the best game of Billy Napier's season. I feel like what's happening right now at UF has started to finally wake this man up. I still feel like he needs to be let go. I feel like he's getting such a pass. He's getting this internship here where he gets paid and he gets this opportunity to continue to work at this school, and he gets to learn how to be a better coach. It's crazy. It's wild. It's insane. I've never seen a program be patient with somebody in this day and age as much as they are patient with him. But I do think that he's earned some points with the university based on the fact that he got DJ Lagway there, one of the biggest recruits in that class, based on the fact that he's got DJ Lagway on the field, which I think scores a lot of points with the university, with the program, and based on the fact that if he leaves, there's a very big chance that Lagway will leave as well. Now, this Gators team, how do I put this? There's a specific kind of discipline that they lack. Okay, they were up at halftime 3-0 after getting to the red zone 4 times. I'm not going to force it to you, but I'm going to try to give it to you. 1, I think you deserve it. 1, I think our team deserves to give it to the person with the hot hand, or the person who thinks they have a hot hand, or the person who just most recently scored, because the game is a game of runs. Football is a game of runs. Football is a game of momentum. So there's something about Billy Napier's play call that to me can be boring and sporadic. He gets cute at times where it just feels like you're trying too hard here. This is a moment where you give the ball to your running back because it's 1 yard, and that's what football is. It's a matter of time and possession, field possession, possessing opportunities and making the most of them. And so to go to Trey Wilson, yes, if that play works, then everybody's like, oh man, great play call. What a chance you took. And oh, wow, Billy Napier is on fire today. I don't like it. I don't personally like it. I think the Gators aren't using Trey Wilson enough. So I think when they finally try to, it's almost too late. It's almost a matter of like, why isn't Trey Wilson just automatically going into every game getting like 20 touches? This guy's like Percy Harvin in our day and age. And the Gators don't force him. They don't try. It's like they don't have a game plan for him. He should have his own plays. There should be a playbook for him. Your best guys need to have their own plays, their go-to plays. Period and point blank. And I'm not saying he's the only person that you want to go to. And I'm not saying that you got to force him the ball on those plays. Because you can absolutely call a play that's made for him and he's not open, and your quarterback goes through their progressions. But like on these drives in particular, the Gators kept throwing away opportunities with penalties, whether that be false start, delay of games, or illegal procedure because they had 12 men on the field. I think Billy Napier is not necessary. And you can kind of tell sometimes just by the way he talks in his press conferences. And this guy don't really feel like he's coming alive. And the only reason why I said like this is one of his best games because it felt like he started to finally come alive. He's on the field. He yelling at people. It feels like this man is waking up finally. But I feel like he's not doing a good enough job in practice, because practice is where people pick up on their habits. And in practice, that's where you have time to, that's where you make time to create game-like situations, where guys are running around because it's time to. Call plays and don't just act like you at practice. No, call the play and give them 25 seconds like you would have in the game to get that play on his feet and to start moving. Make people move more crisp. They had delay of game penalties coming out of like timeouts. This team is sloppy. This team has like a lot of slop to them. And it's unfortunate because you come out and play a game like this against against a highly ranked opponent, against an opponent that people think so highly of. You do a great job on defense. Your offense actually outplays them and you lose the game. But I'm still going to give a little bit of grace, because I'm not just going to hammer these guys every single time, because that's too easy. That's too easy. When they finally do play well, or well enough to have had the opportunity to win, I want to be able to talk about that. And one thing I talked about after the Miami game is the Gators didn't compete against the Hurricanes. They didn't even make that a game. And I'm just happy that they at least made this a game. Okay? It was a game. It was a game, and it went all the way to overtime because it was such a game. You had bad field position. But I think how the Gators handled that was a mistake. You either play to win or you play too safe. You're already labeled as the loser coming into this game. You're not the favorite. I think they were like a 2-touchdown underdog. So you're not the favorite. That doesn't mean that you have to play stupid. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. When they were getting ready to go for 2, I was about to say, that's one of the things that made me say Billy Napier is on some other right now. And he's really trying to get this win and get the hell out of Jim Neyland Stadium. The play calling needs to be better starting on first down. Where's the fun and gun? They ran the ball 2 times, I guess expecting the running back to get you something, but you're in the end zone. So the defense is more so expecting you to run the ball. That's just what teams are expecting from you. So, and they end up waiting until third down. On third down, they get a penalty, a false start or something. So then it's 3rd and 13, and now they want to throw it. And, DJ Lagway ends up like throwing it like, it was like a back shoulder throw that ended up going out of bounds. But he got one chance to throw the ball. One chance. You got these explosive receivers. I'm a fan of the running game, but your receivers are more explosive than all of your running backs. All of them. And you're not spreading the ball around that much. The running backs, Mertz and Johnson, 12 carries. Baugh, 12 carries. Jackson, 5 carries. So between those 3, that's 29 carries. But when I go to the wide receivers, and I don't even have to, I can just look at the quarterback's completions. So 29 carries for the running backs. Graham Mertz, 11 of 15. DJ Lagway, 9 of 17. 20 completions. So your running backs are getting the ball more than your wide receivers are. And I understand that there are incompletions there. And so, there's an effort to try to get them the ball. But just the fact that they're not getting the ball to their wide receivers in general, and they're ending off the game where the receivers aren't touching the ball as much as this team needs their receivers to touch the ball, is one of the main reasons I believe this team is losing games that they should be able to win. Trey Wilson ended this game with 5 catches for 35 yards, averaging 7 yards. I can't really see Trey Wilson coming back to Florida after this season. This is embarrassing. They're wasting the man's talent. Wasting his talent. You're near your own end zone. Why not put the ball in Trey Wilson's hands? Where's the slant? Where's the drag route? Get him the ball quick. What are you doing? The Gators went 3 and out on 2 back-to-back possessions in the 4th. Ever since Mertz out in the next game, I'm glad that just one quarterback is going to play. Establish momentum with these wide receivers and that quarterback. Every quarterback throws the ball differently, and y'all just swapping them out like y'all got time for that. It's crazy. It's crazy. The only time that really worked was when that was part of the scheme. You had Chris Leak, you had Tim Tebow. Chris Leak is the one that's going to be throwing the ball down the field. Tim Tebow's the one that's going to be coming in and adding something to the run game. You know this. Defenses know this, but they still can't necessarily stop it because the scheme is so set in stone. It's so ready and it's so developed. The players understand what's about to happen. The passing game opens up when Tim Tebow comes in because they're expecting him to run the ball. So now the passing game opens up and now he can make plays in the air and on the ground. So I just think this team is all over the place. I think they're a team full of athletes. So I expect them to be able to challenge Miami. I expect them to be able to challenge Tennessee. I expect that. I expected them to be able to beat Texas A&M. I was frustrated when they beat UCF because that wasn't good enough. I'm glad they got the dub, but that wasn't good enough. That was embarrassing. 24 to like what, 20, 21, 24 to 17 or something like that. What are y'all doing? They went in the half like 21-7, and then they didn't really score. They didn't score another touchdown. They ended the game with a field goal in the second half. I'm going to continue, but this team is discombobulated. And I think the only way to really make it work is to get a coach who the team can really start to pour off of his energy. Tennessee has some developing to do. They got some growing up to do. But they have more of a team than this Florida Gators team does. They win on the defensive line. Their DBs make some plays. Their DBs have not been stellar thus far. But they're good. They're good. They're very good. Okay? They're very good. They haven't been the talk of the town. But, and we're going to see what they do in the future. I think they got a big game coming up against Alabama. Alabama wants to throw the ball. So I'm going to see what they do against a team that can run it at quarterback and throw it. Going to see what happens next week. But also Tennessee wins on the ground. They win on the ground. That's their real bread and butter. That's why they're able to pass it as well as they're able to pass it. Right? So that's why they're able to win when they still come up short sometimes in the passing game or, because I expected to see Iam Aliava throwing it all over everybody because of what they did at the very beginning when they were playing against those, lesser conference, P5 or whatever schools. But because they're able to run the ball, they're able to work around any of their shortcomings. Tonight, I was shocked to see how well the Gators defense played. They competed. I think Graham Mertz had a flow about him tonight, and he's been showing that in the past couple of games. I love watching DJ Lagway throw the ball more. The way he throws it, the way the ball leaves his hand, it's just a lot nicer to watch. But you can see that there's a different level of experience between the two guys. And maybe DJ Lagway would start shining more if he played the entire game and they weren't going back and forth because he would have more of a groove. You can't go from being, National Player of the Year to just playing 10, 12, 15 snaps a game and just being expected to win on this one drive that you about to get out of the last 3 drives. Too random, just too much. But he'll have the rest of the season, it looks like, maybe, with the type of with the way that injury looked. Haven't gotten any information on that yet. But like I said, I hope Graham is all right. But it's really good to see that the Gators just had some kinds of competitiveness in them, some kind of want to. 17, DK, man, he's been breathing life into this team, who get to preach their message on the field and put their own message onto the field. That's why that's why the Miami Hurricanes of Ed Reed and Sean Taylor and Ray Lewis were so special. That's why when you see those guys go to the league, they were so vocal, playing so physical. Their team followed their lead everywhere they went. This Gators team lacks some kind of offensive leadership. And I think part of that happens because they're flopping people in and out. They're more so a team that's going into the game with this mindset of, let's see what we can do today. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we're able to do. They're probably surprising themselves each time out. But it shouldn't be that way. It should be more so a matter of, we know we finna get him the ball. And we know we finna get him the ball. And we know that at the end of the day, that's our bread and butter. But we also know that we got these other 3 guys over here that if y'all try to focus on them, then we could spread this thing around. So it's the coaching. It ultimately is the coaching. This team could absolutely be at this point right now of the season and be undefeated. Look at how Miami has been giving opportunities for teams to beat them. Just giving it up. You mean to tell me the quarterback from Cal is better than these quarterbacks here? No, neither one of them. Not one of them. But the Gators weren't ready to show up that day. And I think the Hurricanes just was ready to show up on that day because people was looking at them like they're low-key the underdogs because they're going into the swamp. But look at how they've been playing ever since they've been expected to win games. They've been trying to give it away. Sometimes it's about how you show up. It's about how you're coached, because how you're coached really reinforces how you show up, because that's the person that's with you every single day. Your coach is like your teacher, and you're basically like a kid in high school. The teacher be with you more than your parents do. So the message you get at school from your teachers, your friends, that be the message that you end up giving out into the world a lot of times. And yes, you come to school with a lot of what your parents gave you, just like you come to college with a lot of what you did in high school and what you learned at high school and what you learned at Pee Wee and whatnot. But you're with your coach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You pull up on Saturday. And then some teams, they got Sunday meetings. So this team would be a lot better, I'm telling you, with a better coach. I just can't doubt. Even though I'm going to say that this was one of the best times I've seen Billy Napier show up, he still shouldn't be at this school. He should not be at the school. I'm really glad that they competed. I'm glad they made it a game. I wish they would have went for 2. You're not slated to win this game. Go out there and it up. Go out there and surprise somebody. Just go out there and take it. I've been trying. I don't want to continue cursing on all these videos. I'm trying to do my best to just like take it down a notch. But maybe it's like it because, you know, this is how I feel after watching these games sometimes. All in all, damn good game. College football is just very special. It's giving bowl level games every single Saturday. Multiple. Like this week, there's Penn State, USC. There's Alabama and South Carolina. There's LSU, Ole Miss, Colorado, Kansas State. All of these games just feel very special. All of them. And I feel like there's a couple that I didn't even mention just off the top. Good game, but the Gators would do better trying to get Trey Wilson the ball a lot more. Trey Wilson should not end the game having had only 1 carry and 5 grabs through 4 quarters of football. So essentially, this team has 72 plays, and Trey Wilson gets the ball 6 times. What kind of shit is that? That is bad coaching. This is your best player. I don't care what nobody say. That's the best player on the University of Florida. So essentially, he got the ball once every 12 times they made a play. He got the ball once. That's crazy. If I'm the coach, he's getting the ball 3 times out of the 12. 2 times out of the 12. I'm expecting him to make a play. I put him in the backfield, have him sometimes carrying the ball. He'd probably be the only scat back that the University of Florida can have. I have him in the backfield sometimes like he's Debo Samuels. Not in the power game, but I'm going to get to him quick toss, quick pitch, shovel pass, something, slip screen, something, nothing. He's touching the ball once every 12 times the Gators line up. You can't make this shit up, man. There's a reason why this team is 3-3. Tennessee looks like they shouldn't have even won this game, and they're 5-1. They got it out the mud. Now they move on next week to play Alabama. And their season continues. Their opportunities continue. They're ranked number 8, and the Gators could have beat the number 8 ranked team in the nation today. Couldn't take advantage of the opportunities. Delay of game penalties, illegal procedure penalties, false start penalties, 12 men on the field penalties. Where y'all head at? Where is y'all head at? Y'all deserve to treat y'all efforts better than what y'all did today. Y'all came out and played too hard to throw that shit away time and time again, possession and possession again, with dumbass penalties, dumbass play calls. This team lacks an identity week in and week out. They lack an identity so much they don't even know who their quarterback is, and the only reason why they're about to know is because they just lost their starting quarterback. This team has been destitute for too many years for them to continue on like this. But Billy Napier is still there. He's probably lucky to have the 3 wins that he does have, and they can make moments like this depressing. But I'm not depressed. So yeah, Gators lose. News. It's news. Gators lose. That ain't news. That ain't nothing.